on the very first date, he said, "I'm looking for a wife." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, that is a former Bachelorette contestant.
That's right. That is not your typical New York game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dear Shandy, listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this Love Fest.
Me too.
This one, by the way, has been cooking. It's been a slow roast on this one. It's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of like trying to find the right time. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, this other Love Fest couple canceled. Are you able to do this week? And then the gentleman in question was like, actually. And so they really are saving our asses right now.
They are.
And we're very thankful. So before bringing them in, I will introduce them. You know the gentleman in question. He is the bachelor person in this relationship. You know him from season 16 of The Bachelorette. And he is the managing partner of Litany Partners, which recruits junior analysts and associates at private equity firms, hedge funds, asset managers, and investment banks. Very impressive. And his gorgeous fiancée, who I'm just so excited is here with us today. And she's also Hapa, so, you know, it needs a moment. She is a renowned yoga instructor, the founder of Leela Wellness, an on-the-go yoga app with classes and yoga teacher training. And there is a 200-hour immersive teacher training coming up in Bali, which I think sounds amazing. Wow. That sounds like glorious.
It's very immersive.
Yeah, very immersive. Bennett and Emily, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having us. Great to meet you.
Look at this couple.
I'm like, I got to catch my breath.
I know.
Oh, stop it, you guys.
No.
Your home is beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
We're
you.
on the Upper West Side. You were once New Yorkers, but then you betrayed us.
I know. We're actually going to be back next week.
Really?
So business and hosting. Emily's going to be hosting a couple of events for a new fitness app and launch that she's putting on as well.
Wow, amazing.
Are you from New York, Bennett?
No, quite far from it, despite what you may have seen on TV. I'm actually from the South. I was, from Atlanta, grew up down there, was there for, until I was 18, and then went to, Boston and then to New York and now LA. So kind of just making my way around the map.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I would have never guessed. No Southern accent whatsoever.
It's true.
Yeah, but I'm still seeking fried chicken at any given moment, and the southern hospitality and comfort food and everything really hits home. My mom does have an accent, but I never really had one. If you talk to my mom, my name Ben is Ben. It's a 2-syllable Ben. But few of my family members do have an accent, but I just kind of never really stuck. I think it's just dependent on where you are in Atlanta. It's a very urban city, of course.
I mean, you don't have a New York accent. Andy's a New Yorker. He doesn't have an accent.
I say water.
You do say water.
Water.
And Emily, is this true? You were born in Panama? This is what an online article told me.
Yes. So I'm half Chinese, but my father is from a Chinese ethnic enclave in Panama.
Wow.
Yep, the whole family is Panamanian Chinese, and then we moved over to Florida with pretty much my whole family. So yeah, it's pretty funny. My dad is 100% ethnically Chinese, but doesn't speak a lick of Chinese and only speaks Spanish and English now.
Wow.
So I have to understand, how did he end up in Panama?
So my great grandparents moved from China to Panama to work on the Panama Canal.
Wow. I was going to guess that, but I thought something might be wrong with that. I wanted to wait.
No, good guess.
That is a good guess, but I understand why you didn't want to go there first.
I felt like something, my spidey sense went off, like, watch out.
Yeah. Okay, so you two, today is just all about you and your love story, relationship dynamics. We're going to have fun. This is an excuse to gush about each other.
Sounds great. Love that.
Right? Who doesn't love that? So we're going to start at the very beginning and learn how the two of you met.
You want to start, or you want me to do that one?
No, you do it.
All right. So Emily was a yoga instructor, is a yoga instructor, obviously. And I'm a big yoga fan, and started, as I was kind of working out and abusing my body for too many years as a, former football player and basketball player, just working out how you kind of grow up and are taught to work out, putting on weight and all those things, taking a major toll on the body. So I started yoga Went to a lot of the studios around New York City and was pretty well versed. But found a class I particularly liked, a block and a half from my old apartment down in Chelsea, on 14th Street. And Emily was the yoga instructor, the yoga studio coordinator, and started going to her class on a regular basis. This was 2019. So, pre-show, pre-pandemic, all those things. And fast forward, the studio shut down, when the pandemic hit, because it was kind of a launch there in 2019, as many things did. And, we weren't in touch, but as I became single, I, obviously noticed her and did not start, hitting on her at the yoga studio. I wanted to maintain my favorite class of the week.
Yeah, and, you don't shit where you eat, Bennett.
Exactly.
Just show shit where you downward dog.
You don't want to be the creep, hitting on the yoga teacher. I was in a relationship. Emily was in a relationship. It wasn't, even remotely like that. So fast forward, relationships ended, pandemics, hit, and the studio shut down. And I had an email that is an auto-generated email, from fitness instructors. When you go to their classes, you get the thank you for coming to our class. And I'm an old school guy. I'm a recruiter. And so I thought, I'm going to use this email. I sent an email shot by shot, via email to Emily. And, she was still dating someone. Fast forward, 6 months later or so, I shot another email. She was still dating someone. And then fast forward 3 to 6 months, later from that, and shot another email. We're, in kind of end of 2020, 2021 at this point. Shot my shot again. And finally it was, stars aligned, and she was single and coming to New York, and said it would be a perfect time to get together.
Wow. That's great. 3 times the charm. Or you get blocked. One of the two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You either find your future mate or you get blocked. It's so funny. I feel like those emails, most people are like, delete.
Yeah. It's like when I get an email from like the CEO of like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Dear CEO of LinkedIn, I don't like what you said.
Emily, does that all track with you? I mean, you looked very serene listening to that. It didn't look like you had any fact checking to do.
I mean, when Ben was coming to my classes, I already had a little bit more respect for him, because he always came for the 75-minute level 2 hot yoga class that, was like my pride and joy of the entire week. And as the manager of the studio, I was teaching all kinds of different classes, and there was like yoga sculpt classes, which were good, but they're more commercial yoga. But Ben went to the more spiritual Sunday classes. He always stood out. I thought he was like in our model program, because we teach models for free at that yoga studio. And I just didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, he's a really good student. That's nice. When he first reached out to email me about a date, obviously I was with someone, and that happened a few times, but it was just kind of like stars aligned on that third time. My prior relationship just completely didn't work out during COVID. I was with him for a month, and I was like, I cannot be with you 24/7, and I need to leave this relationship now.
Yeah, you can thank COVID for that.
Yeah.
Yep. I just came home and, enjoyed my singledom for a little while, and then was just getting so stir crazy in Florida that I was like, I'm going to just come up and see my friends for a week in New York. And it just happened to be that he emailed me the day after I booked my flight. I was like, oh, actually, I am going to be in New York that week. Let's go for a date.
Oh,
And
very nice.
we ended up going on 4 dates that week that I was there.
I don't even know if they're considered dates after. In 1 week, 4 days. I think you're dating.
On the very first date, he said, I'm looking for a wife. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that is a former Bachelorette contestant.
That's right. That is not your typical New York game.
Yeah. I want you to know my intentions are pure. Wait, we haven't even ordered drinks yet. Take it easy.
Yeah, you'd spent many hours in an ITM room. So
right.
Emily, I feel like it wasn't the first time a student had hit on you. Am I right or wrong? That was a wild guess.
It wasn't the first time.
Okay, so I want to know, Emily, did you see Bennett's season, or did you end up watching it afterwards, like when you got to know him? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I watched a few episodes and then I coincidentally went to Tulum and they didn't play the show there. I just didn't watch the rest of it. And I'm okay with that. I got to see all the memes. I was active on Instagram. I saw the memes, but that was really it. I try not to get too involved in the show.
It wasn't really a thing, and no surprise there.
That's just also my thing. Like I don't watch TV. I just don't watch Netflix, Hulu, anything. I'm just like not a TV person. I'm a books person. It was all TV. But
what about video games?
I wish. No video games.
So no, oh my God, she's like an adult, no screen time. It's
wild.
like with kids, you have to be like, no more screen time.
You must be so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pure.
No. I mean, I'm a big fantasy lover. Like I love Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. For my people who like fantasy, like Sarah J. Maas, Bryan Sanderson, like, and the books are like thousands of pages long. So they just occupy all my time.
So House of the Dragon, thumbs up or thumbs down?
What?
I guess I'm easy to please. I just need a lot of dragons and I'm happy.
Yeah, you love dragons.
Yeah, but you sound like a purist. You were like, no, this is not.
I'm almost always like the book version more than I like the TV version.
Okay.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know first impressions then. You thought he was in the model program and you thought he seemed like a nice guy. It
sounds like an outreach program. I know. Like these models need yoga too,
Work in progress. These models. Pilot.
So you go on these dates, you agree to meet up in New York. You happen to be there. You go on the first date. And at this point, there's been a lot of buildup. I want to know what your first impressions are, like not in a yoga studio, not in that setting, and also how those have changed, if at all.
You can't look at me. You got to answer this one. Just go for it.
I thought he was very considerate in the yoga studio classroom because he would actually put his mat right next to mine. Like, the yoga
guys like that.
Considerate.
Yeah. Hang on, we're getting there.
I would teach hot yoga and he would sweat so profusely that he would be spraying the people around him with sweat. And maybe
was it slow motion? Was it like, or was it just gross?
Yeah. Totally.
And so I was like, oh, he knows that he would rather sweat on my mat because I'm usually walking around the class. I'm not really on my mat. So he has a little bit more space and he can sweat on my mat. So I always already thought he was pretty considerate. And I was like, oh, he's good at yoga and he takes my advanced class. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went on a first date with him, he was telling me about his experience on the show, all these things. And I came to it with no expectations. I almost always, in the past, I always dated Asian guys. And so he was my first like older white guy. I had no idea what to expect. I was just sitting there and he was talking and I was like, oh, so much going on right now.
Taking it all in. And he's a character too. I mean, from what we know.
Anyway. I hadn't said anything to her, prior really to that. I said one thing to her on the first class I went to her class, and on the way out, I'm just drenched and I kind of look up like this and I say, you have the most graceful yoga practice I've ever seen, and kept walking. And,
wow.
And that was it. That was it. And yeah. It was good. It was a good line, but it was true. And, I didn't say anything else to her for a year or, until I sent my emails. And so that there was a bit of a buildup, and then we met and she realized I was, quite a character, as you said, and just kind of hit it from there.
I love that. I mean, I'm clearly a sucker for that too. I remember like when I first met you, it was just like so emotive and so much expression, so much personality. It's just like whatever flavor it is, it's like a 10 on the flavor scale. It's not diluted. And yeah. I respect.
Nice. Are you talking about me?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about, she was taking it all in, talking to him, and I relate to that. Because I've dated some guys that, they're nice. They're nice.
Like Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Although that has a lot of flavor. I think basically you're calling me Olive Garden.
Unlimited, and some
yeah, unlimited breadsticks. Okay, so Bennett, how about you? You go on that first date, and you guys are not getting out of the part B of this question, which is how those have changed, if at all. But we'll get to that. Bennett, you go on the first date. You earned this with 3 persistent emails. And what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a game changer for me. I think, historically being in New York, I was always a dater and in pretty serious relationships, lengthy relationships. And then when I was single, I was very single, right? And those periods of time were short and fewer and further between, but it's New York City, you're out, you're meeting people, you're dating a lot. And
it's the big leagues of dating.
It's the big leagues of dating. And so, I think as you get more mature, your ability to realize when there's a game changer, and identify that quickly and, drop all other cards and focus in is really what it requires to be successful dating in the city, And so, when I met Emily, it was absolutely a game changer. And it wasn't, unfortunately, we weren't able to kind of be, exclusive right away because she was living in Florida. And, I'd moved back and lived with her family and was kind of, going to Tulum and doing all these, other things. So in my mind, it was exclusive right out of the gates, but we couldn't really, get there and define because of the distance. And at 36 at the time, didn't feel like a long distance relationship was really something that was feasible or something that I wanted to pursue. And it wasn't something we even had to talk about.
This is interesting because now we're talking logistics. So you went back to Florida after that week.
So what he's getting at is that we never had like this moment that was like, will you be my girlfriend? And I was kind of
no DTR.
I was looking for this question, this statement, and it finally came like to my birthday, and I was like, haven't you said this?
Yeah. State your intentions.
Yeah. He was like, oh, I thought it was assumed. And I was like, well, you're lucky that I was more or less on the same wavelength because like you didn't actually say anything.
Oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
Bennett, what happened there? How did that not get said? Given on the first date, you said you were looking for a wife.
So in New York, if I lived there for 15 years, I had 4 significant relationships, and all of those were, a year and a half, a year, 3.5 and 5.5 years. And this is not counting Emily. Never one of them did I ever have to have a defining the relationship conversation. It was just, when you kind of are constantly in touch with someone and there's, the physical connection and you're spending your emotional energy and, time with that person on a super regular basis. I don't know, maybe it was just in my mind and a little bit of cockiness and a power play in my view, but I just never thought that I needed to say, hey, will you be my girlfriend? That seems so elementary to me.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him.
Oh, I agree with her.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah, but I agree with her, like, especially, in a straight situation.
But maybe that's what Emily was used to.
Yeah.
And she was just trained to think that was coming. But really, if you show, like, if you're really like, look, I'm here all the time. I love you. Like, look at what I'm doing. You shouldn't have to say, by the way, we're boyfriend, girlfriend.
So I agree circa another time. But when everyone's on all the apps and dating multiple people. And
see, I'm speaking from another time.
Assuming...
From a time long ago.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I'm old school, like you. And I agree. That was kind of my mind and the way I was thinking. And I wasn't, on a bunch of apps, but to her point and yours, Charlene, I think certainly kind of with the show and the social media pop and, all of those things, like life was a little bit different at that point. And it probably would have been best if I had just kind of put it, those cards out there and verbalized it. But I still felt like how could I be spending any other time, with anyone else, right? It's like, I'm one man,
I mean, he sent 3 emails to the corporate address. 3.
That's right.
For that extra special, for that extra special piece, shop Jenny came.
I had Shandy. That was a really good jingle.
Oh, thanks.
And it really does fit Jenny Kane because it is an extra special piece from Jenny. Luxury. I am a big believer in fewer things that are like high quality.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like that perfect cardigan, that like perfect knit piece, which I think Jenny Kane just aces. They are on top of that perfect cashmere cardigan, the perfect slouchiness, the perfect thickness, the perfect weight, the perfect softness. People think that all cashmere, like 100% cashmere is always the same. It's not. I own one Jenny Kane piece, and let me tell you the wear I get out of it, it's like I own 5.
Well, that's the thing about high quality, versatile, classic pieces.
Oh, Jenny Kane is classic. It spans all times. It can go with any outfit, something you have from 10 years ago or something you buy tomorrow.
And the cardigan which you own, which happens to be one of their best sellers, has over 1,800 5-star reviews.
Yeah. That cannot be ignored.
Quality is so important. If I had to do my whole life over again, one thing I would implement is quality over quantity.
And while Jenny Kane is known for their cashmere, like they're famous for it, but they also nail cotton. Like high quality cotton. I feel like we've forgotten what high quality cotton is because cotton's so ubiquitous. But when you have a piece that's high quality cotton, it lasts forever and goes with everything. And it's the perfect summer fabric.
There is a wide array of cotton quality, from crap to amazing.
So find your forever pieces at jennykane.com/Dear Shandy. And I love that. Forever pieces. We know what that means.
I know exactly what that means.
Yeah. You know what I feel about forever pieces? I wish I had more. I want more forever pieces and fewer of all the other stuff.
You know what are not forever pieces?
What?
Is the giant box I just sent to Goodwill.
You're right. You're right.
Get 15% off your first order when you use code DearShandy at checkout.
That's 15% off your first order at JennyKane, JennyKane.com/Dear Shandy, promo code Dear Shandy.
How about my tub? Should I get my tub?
I'm rolling, by the way. We're starting yet. Andy's getting his tub of Care of chocolate protein powder that you love so very much.
There we go.
I feel like this is show and tell.
Look at that tub.
You know, there's high quality cocoa powder in there and you can taste it.
It's so good. I don't think of it as anything but a delicious drink.
Yeah. No.
I feel like I'm cheating.
Well, so I force myself to only take it when I'm working out so that I don't get used to it too much, because right now I look forward to working out so that I can have that first.
Isn't that amazing? So you work out more because you want to drink this.
So Care of, in case you haven't heard of it, is a subscription service that ships high quality vitamins, supplements,
and powders
conveniently to your door every month. We are such a big fan of this service.
And it's bespoke.
We honestly seem to really love bespoke things here, but I swear everyone's different. I don't think I should be taking the same one-size-fits-all multivitamin as someone else who has a totally different set of genes than I do.
Yeah, it's like if you went to the doctor and he's like, oh, you're 6 foot tall, American male. Yeah, here's this.
And that's why Care of is so great. They have an online quiz that's very in-depth, but not too long. I love how they value your time. Yeah. And you basically fill out how you're feeling, how you want to feel, what your health and lifestyle goals are. And then they'll recommend the appropriate vitamins, supplements, and powders for your needs.
So go to takecareof.com and use promo code Shandy50 to get 50% off your first Care of order.
Again, that's 50% off your first Care of order when you go to takecareof.com, promo code Shandy50. So today, you've been together for 2 years, 2.5 years ish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How would you two say that you complement each other?
Yin and yang. So if Ben is the one who's in his work mode, he's actually maybe planning a vacation for us or something, or like planning stuff. That's his specialty. He loves planning. He loves being the doer, go-getter, loves, crafting things into creation or making things happen. And I'm more of allow things to happen. Like it'll organically pop up. The opportunity will just land itself in my inbox. It's the right person, the right place. It's all coming together all the time. And you just don't have to force it.
Oh, I love it.
I'm much more of a create
funny.
your own offense kind of guy, and like a driver's seat. I need to be a little bit more like Emily sometimes in that sense. But I just kind of, grew up, I think, in the work ethic and hard work, and getting to where I was, in finance, and then transitioning and working into recruiting, which is very much a hustle. That's all I know how to do. Whether it was growing up playing sports or, schoolwork, or, fast forward to your career now, that's just kind of how I operate.
Do you ever feel like he's rubbing off on you in a good way, Emily?
Yeah, definitely. He gives me more structure. Actually, it's so funny when Ben goes on his work trips and I'm like by myself in the house, I'm like, no structure. I don't know what time I'm going to bed. I don't know what time I'm waking up. Like nothing is like no meals are being eaten. It's kind of like gray. Everything is like, woo.
This is a real creative
now
type.
I know whenever Ben is going, I have to like invite my mom over, or like have house guests, like have my friends come or something.
Yeah, I live by routine, and a creature of habit. So it's kind of like that structure is just like the only way that I get everything done. And there's always other things I can be getting done. So it is really nice, take a deep breath. And then I'm like, sprinting out and the last person in the yoga class when I get there, but I need to take that time to calm myself and like, just chill out or go to the gym. And that's kind of my meditation, or going and doing something in nature, with Emily. And it's nice to have that mentality and that approach to life as, something that's complementary to my sort of rigidity and schedule as well.
Yeah. It sounds like, Bennett, you're slightly getting the better deal.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
I would agree with that 100%. For sure.
I want you to calm me. Lucky. Be my Emily.
I am also, I'm getting the better deal too.
Oh, I'm not that calming though. No. I don't think I'm that calming. I'm definitely the creative. Like I'm more like, less structure. It'll come. I love how even in her case, like even her future husband just like landed in her inbox.
Oh yeah, totally. She was right.
It'll come. It's time for your question, Andy.
Oh, my favorite question.
This is always Andy's question.
Nice.
Okay, so how do you guys fight and resolve conflict, and who says sorry first?
Yeah, we want to play by play.
Okay, I have that answer.
Emily's pointing at Bennett.
He always says sorry first, which is very nice.
Smart.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
it's just like I grew up in a pretty volatile household, and so there was fighting was and communication was super poor, right? And it was not something that I was like taught and knew just from a childhood and the examples in front of me, and so. Running on a high level of stress and a serious, rigidity schedule, there's emotional spikes. And I think that our ability to communicate exactly what the problem is, obviously, and tackle the problem and not get wrapped up in the emotions that are, extraneous factors, things that are kind of impacting you is the main thing that we try to focus on. Is like, what's really the problem here, and just have a conversation about it. Right. Ideally, and kind of come back to, okay, this is the issue. I'm not mad about X, Y, and Z. I think we do a really good job of not bringing up past, arguments and just kind of focusing on what the present is for the most part. Right.
Yeah, so it's funny.
Even that answer sounded so corporate. I want to hear Emily.
You should write apology letters. Those apology letters, like corporate apologies?
Oh, yeah.
I think you'd be good at that.
I write a lot of contracts.
Okay, so on the opposite end, my parents are both psychiatrists.
What?
Oh, whoa.
Both.
Yin and yang. Yin and
Wow.
So my mom specifically focuses on psychotherapy. My dad is very spiritual, but focuses a little bit more on just straight up pharmaceutical psychiatry. But I had a no argument household. Like literally never seen an argument between my parents in my entire life.
Wow.
Wait.
Literally never. It just never happened. And they separated, by the way, when I was in high school. But if they had an argument, they just got in the car or did it somewhere.
So they had arguments, but they left. They didn't let you see them.
Leave. So we never saw, my brother and I never saw a single argument in our entire life. So I almost feel like sometimes I don't know how to deal with the conflict.
That's amazing. I've never heard of that. That's
that's such dedication.
And they split up. I mean, not to belittle that, but that's incredible.
Wait, did that come out of left field
that you never saw anything?
Like when you were in high school and suddenly they were separating, were you like...
Yeah, you're like, you never argue. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of picked it up because they just weren't touchy-feely.
Huh.
You know, like when you go to other parents' households or other kids' houses and like the parents are all like, my parents weren't really like that. So I thought there was something a little weird. But yeah, for my brother, who's not quite as intuitive, he was like, so shocked. But no, they were still friends. Like my parents, they work at the same office. So it's they're still friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're still like, you're a good person, I'm a good person, but we're just better off with different people.
So advanced.
Yeah, very evolved.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
I had really not had a lot of conflicts before in some of my prior relationships. It was more just like, I just don't like you anymore. I fell out of love and then I break up with them.
Wow.
I just wouldn't understand what was going on. And when my mom explained it to me, she was like, you know what, maybe in your past, your exes were very like, maybe beta to me, where I was actually more of a leader and they were more of a follower. And so I would lose interest in the relationship. But Ben is the opposite, where Ben is like very rah-rah. And sometimes there are specific things that I get to be very particular about as well. And when we're both kind of like butting heads about things, what I've noticed is usually that it's a matter of timing. Either he's hungry, he's at work, he's trying to do something else. It's just a matter of timing. Like you can talk about the same exact thing where I'm very particular and he's very particular. But if you're just talking about it when he's relaxed or like we're watching TV or whatever else, it's like, then we can have a conversation.
Oh, so true.
I don't necessarily know if there's like conflict resolution. Pretty much if we're already butting heads, it's like, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Go watch TV. Let's just rediscuss when we're
we'll come back
state
to
change.
We'll come back to it. Exactly. And I think that's super helpul. And she's right. The eating, that hypoglycemia.
That's number one. That's the Family Feud number one answer for domestic fights. Do you miss fighting, Bennett? I'm not kidding.
No, not at all.
Just checking.
That was like, traumatizing childhood and situations. I very much know what I have with Emily, and it's like the best heart and the best upbringing, like the ability to have found a perfect match and someone that can complement and calm me and bring all of the elements of joy and love that I had ever didn't even know were possible to my life is really, really special. Such a blessing.
Wow.
How, I mean, my goodness.
That's
how
effusive.
Beautiful. Very.
Until the day she's just like, oh, I'm going to break up with you. What the hell? Where did this come from?
He went too beta.
We don't fight.
Too beta.
No, Emily, you're the first person in all of our Love Fest to ever talk about the timing.
Yeah.
But it's I guess that's what you get when both parents are therapists.
Yeah.
Because that's so true. Mm-hmm. I honestly think that like 80% of fights can be avoided based on
absolutely
just like reading.
Know your audience.
Yeah, that the tension in the air is and unrelated to even what you're fighting about. Like, is it already tense in the air?
Finally, it's never happening again. I finally figured it out. There was a little stain on the counter that you used turmeric, and turmeric makes a stain.
Well, I'm going to ask you in a second what you guys fight about.
And we were already in like sort of another sort of like sub fight, like a fight.
It was like we
were both like a little bristly at each other for something else.
Yeah.
And then it came out of my mouth before I even it just came out. I was like, you got some stains on the counter, and I was like, oh, that was a bad call.
Did I lose it?
And then it was over. It's like a full blown fight.
Yeah.
But you just have to know, like, what is your audience?
Are they
prepared for the show?
Picking a battle is not just about the battle itself. It's the timing of the battle. You pick when to fight that battle.
You have to hold it in. If you're like, I want to do it right now, just check it. Check your environment and wait.
Okay, so that a hot button thing over here is a stain on the counter. What is something you guys fight about?
Oh, it's similar. Actually, I'm a little bit more of a messy one.
She is the messy one.
And so he will start to
let
get...
it be.
Yeah, I'm like, it's fine. And he gets a little bit more prickly when things are not in their place. So it's like, where's the kitchen iPhone cord or something like that. I'm like, oh, I was using it earlier.
Yep.
Like I put the structure in places where they make sense, and then you go and they're gone. And it's like, what? And I know, so little things like that.
Oh yeah.
You're like that.
90% of the reasons I get annoyed at you is when I go to look for something and it's not where I found it, and it's not where I thought I left it. And 90% of those times, I actually was the one who moved it to the wrong place.
Yeah. Okay. So one more question before we get to the game. Are there any beliefs about relationships that have changed now that you have this one?
I would say that it's very important to distinguish when you have conflicts with someone. Is it because of the person or is it because of cohabitating? And that's actually something I never thought about. But half or even more, maybe 90% of the conflicts that we do have are just because we're two people who are living together and we have to figure out how to live together, how to organize our time, our space, our boundaries. When do I need alone time? When do I need to have time with my friends? How do I organize myself and my life? And then just do that really up close with another person. And for the most part, I feel like that's a whole dynamic that is very different from who we are as lovers. Like who we are as lovers was like the most easiest, natural, like spontaneous thing ever. And then it's who are we as living partners that's like can be a little bit more chafing.
Yeah, I relate to that.
Yeah, that's anything, I think, of course, cohabitating, that brings on all sorts of, new challenges, and you figure out what people's quirks are and how they like things, and you work together, right, to build a home. And to her point, like moving in to your own space versus, cohabitating together, and one person usually moves into someone else's place, but then going and getting your own fresh place together and doing the decorating together and all that good stuff. That's really, I think, helpful in taking a relationship to the next level and getting that ownership, and something together. For me, I think it goes back probably just thinking about prior relationships and like forcing and trying to make things work, and having what I've learned, with Emily. Obviously taking that life lesson, you can't really put a square peg into a round hole. Don't force it, right? And when things are not working out, I am one that wants to turn over every leaf in a relationship until it's like totally dead. But when you've got things that are, it's like, you don't need to do that.
Yes, is the horse fully dead, or is there any more to beat out of it?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And, I look back and regret, some of my relationships probably that went on a little bit too long, and it should have been broken, much earlier. And I think those are all life lessons that he continued to take, with me. But there should be some ease, to a relationship. It shouldn't be, obviously all relationships are work and effort, and, you're going to have conflict, but I think there should be some ease to the journey as well.
Yes. Ease.
Right? An easy, difficult, lovely journey.
Yeah. We talk about ease a lot over here because, sometimes, we've said more than once that we think relationships should be easy. And it's funny, the reaction you'll get. Some people are like, that's not true. Relationships or marriage is hard work and all that stuff. But you define this better. I want you to, because you word this better than I do.
Yeah, well, I just feel like if your life feels more, I guess the word would be light with somebody else, then that's probably a good relationship. And I do not think that when people say work, relationships are work, I don't think that relationships should ever be more work than being by yourself, unless that work is a labor of love that you are using to make the good relationship even better.
Ooh.
Was that it?
Yeah. No, okay. You got there. But it's true. It's like life is work. Like we all have to work to just clothe ourselves and eat and put a roof over our heads and all this stuff. It's like the thing that should not be work is entering your home and interacting with the person you've chosen to cohabitate with,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Compromise and work are two very different things. I was just thinking the leaf, turning over a new leaf.
Yeah.
That phrase. I know that's not how you used it, but
right.
What the hell does that mean?
I feel like this seems like something Bennett would know.
You know what I mean?
Turning over a new leaf. I think it's discovering something, new or a new way.
No. We know what it means. What's the origin?
Yeah. What does that mean? Since when am I turning over leaves ever in any situation?
Is it a season? I wonder if it's a season thing. Like the leaves have fallen, you're turning it over.
Well, that's very figurative.
Yeah,
Usually these sayings are very literal. I don't think I've ever turned over a leaf. I've maybe picked up a leaf. I was like, oh, look, this nice leaf. But I've never turned it over.
You've turned over plenty of leaves in the fall. And you know how sometimes you see a very colorful, beautiful fall leaf and you turn it over and it's not necessarily the same on the other side.
Yeah, but that defeats the meaning of the phrase turn over a new leaf.
You're right.
No,
I was just making the point that you've done it.
The crinkly side, the bad side, and then turn it onto the beautiful side.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying the leaf fell on its good side. That's a big assumption. Okay.
The fell and it was ugly on the top, and then you turned around and it was beautiful on the other side.
These are the things we contemplate on this podcast. Okay, we have a quick rapid fire true or false, and then we're going to get to the game. True or false? Okay. When you know, you know.
True.
Oh, true. Both of us. Sure. True.
Correct answer.
True or false? Timing is everything.
True.
Yeah.
Correct.
True.
There's no
That's
right
absolutely
or wrong.
Correct answer.
True or false? Opposites attract.
True.
Yeah, true.
Wrong. Yeah, you got 2 out of 3. That's a D minus.
It's a little below par. Okay.
True or false? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
True.
Definitely true.
Oh wow.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry, there was 4 questions.
Clean.
So you got to see.
Clean sweep of truths. All right, it is now time for the Dear Shandy Newlyweds Game. Yay!
All right.
My goodness, the two of you could hear a pin drop while you were writing your answers. And it was very intense.
Yeah.
Like it felt like they were writing their SATs.
Yeah. No, I like the weight they gave the Newlyweds Game.
Oh yeah, no,
you
guys, you weren't kidding around.
No.
And there was one point where Bennett was sat there writing with his mouth was in a thin line. And we were all just watching him for a very long time until finally he went.
It's like final answer.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm very curious. I feel like it's either going to go towards like 5 out of 5 or like 0 out of 5. Like I have no idea what to expect.
I'm going to give my prediction.
Oh, Andy likes to predict, and he actually has a pretty good track record of getting it right. All right.
2-2, and we go overtime. Emily wins.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very specific.
Oh,
right.
now it's a competition. It's just
this is not fun. This is it. Yeah.
We're pitting you against each other, Bennett.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty tight. I think it'll be pretty even.
Okay. All right. So let's start with Emily, our guest of honor, our non-bachelor, our civilian guest of honor. And
definitely the guest of honor.
Yes. So Bennett, this will be your point to win or lose. Emily, if you could only listen to one musician, band, or composer for the rest of your life, who would it be? And when you say it, show the camera.
It was Philip Glass.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what a good call. That's a round of applause. Oh my goodness.
Bravo.
That is a very good choice.
You know what? You not only is that a great answer, but now I know who I would listen to. And I've always thought about it. I was like, it's going to be this one. It's going to be It's Philip Glass. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that is, wow. Ooh, I already respected you, but let me just tell you that's a very good answer. It's gone out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, such a good answer. Big reaction here. All right, Bennett. Did you get that?
So I didn't come up with Philip Glass, but I wrote orchestra/classical.
Oh,
let's see the piece of paper.
I gotta say,
orchestra/classical with a question mark.
It's a tough call.
No, okay, it's not Philip Glass.
It's not Philip Glass. We're not going to give you credit. I'm going to give you an award for best effort. That doesn't get a point.
I wasn't coming out with Philip Glass. No.
You did get the genre, which is the most unlikely genre in all of these Newlywed Games we've had.
Usually people don't go in the classical direction. Surprisingly, actually. I think.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Like a half point, maybe,
Yeah. If there's another half point to be had in the future, then you might be given.
Yeah, you're on the waiting list for a half point now. If the half point comes into play, you're going to get it.
Appreciate it.
Emily, this is your point to win or lose. Bennett, if you could only listen to one musician, band, or composer for the rest of your life, who would it be?
It's a kind of a slant rhyme on, the classical orchestra, but it's Outcast.
Oh,
wow. That's
ATL Outcast.
That's
a solid call. Yeah, you guys, a lot of good music playing in that house.
Yeah. Respect.
Yeah. And a variety.
Yeah.
Outcast and Philip Glass. I can't think of two things more opposite and also both excellent.
Yeah, and also the most similar to ours. Yeah. Which is maybe why we like it.
This is why we think it's excellent. It has to be.
Okay, Emily, did you get that?
Yes.
Nice.
Very good. Very good.
Nice.
Oh, that's impressive.
Okay, so Emily, what is your bucket list travel destination?
I put New Zealand.
Me too. Very good. Excellent choice. Yeah. So far, very good answers, regardless of whether they're right or not. Excellent choice.
We're having a strong reaction to your answers. Bennett, did you get that?
No, I put 10.
That's also excellent.
That's a very good.
Those are two solid bucket lists.
Yeah, but Bennett's still at 0.
He loses, yeah.
Okay, Bennett, what's your bucket list travel destination?
New Zealand / Australia for myself. Yeah.
Oh, he's so honest. Okay, let's see. Emily. She got New Zealand for him. 2 for Emily. My goodness. Oh, she's cleaning up here.
Very impressive.
The reason I said that was so honest is because he could have been like, oh yeah, New Zealand, I had that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but it was his answer. Question number 3, Emily, what is your biggest peeve? And you guys agreed that it would be about each other and not about the world at large.
So my pet peeve about Ben?
Yes.
All right, then I messed this one up. I thought this was like your biggest peeve, like that you, want for yourself, not about the other person.
Oh, that's so sweet. He couldn't
so
think of
he
one
couldn't even
peeve.
imagine that they would be talking about each other.
Yeah. So my like biggest like frustration, biggest peeve about you, I can do that really quickly.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
You just undid all the good stuff, honey.
Unbelievable undoing. The greatest
fiancé of the year award.
Execution of undoing I've ever seen. Amazing.
That was actually very good comedic timing.
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay.
Brilliant.
All right, Emily, what is your biggest peeve about Bennett?
I said his work cranky mood.
His work cranky mood. And work cranky is like 2 words hyphenated. It's work cranky.
Work cranky.
She got it. I said stress work mode.
Perfect.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah. Bennett, what is your biggest peeve about Emily?
Cleanliness.
It's fresh on his mind after this conversation. All right. Emily, did you get that?
I put messy / taking chargers.
Done.
Taking chargers.
I love the slashes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So 3-1.
You're on the board.
I got to say, Bennett, I don't think you're going to be winning this, but it just means
I know.
You're ever so loved.
Here.
He could tie it and then go to overtime.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, Andy. Andy is stroking his cozy earth joggers right now with love.
How does something this worn stay this smooth?
Mm-hmm. It's so true. Usually you get pilling.
It should be bumpy. All things eventually become bumpy.
It's called pilling, but yeah.
Or bumpiness.
Cozy Earth has mastered the art of a soft, durable material because their fabrics are made with viscose from bamboo.
And you know what makes me sad about these ads? Is no one believes me. that I wear these every day. No, everyone's like, oh, he's just saying that.
I think they're starting to come around.
I'm telling you, I wear these every day, and I've worn these every day for holy cow. How long have I worn these every day
since
for?
we first got Cozy Earth, yes. And you continue to love them. We wash those like crazy. And look, they're black as the day we got them. No pilling, no fading. And the same can be said for our amazing Cozy Earth bed sheets, which, by the way, have been on Oprah's favorite things list for 5 years in a row. Oprah.
If I, Andy Levine, was on Oprah's favorite things list for 5 hours in a row, I would be satisfied.
You.
Yeah, just me. The favorite human.
Let's talk about the texture of these sheets. Because again, bamboo, you would think, oh, that's not going to make the softest sheet in the world. Yeah. But lo and behold, it's like a cloud.
Yeah.
It's
the world
silky.
is filled with paradoxes.
Yes.
This is one of the most beautiful, practical paradoxes I've come across in a long time.
Honestly, when you feel it, you're like, this is what we were supposed to do. Bamboo, it grows from the earth. Yeah. It's natural. Yeah. It grows quickly.
Bamboo
way more.
won't stop growing. It literally, you can't stop it.
Yes, you always take it in this extreme direction. But it's true. When I feel those sheets, I'm like, this is what we were supposed to do with bamboo.
I agree.
And also, since we've gotten those sheets, you don't sweat anymore.
No. Temperature controlled sheets. What more could you ask for?
I know. They're cooling, yet they keep you warm when you want to be kept warm.
You know what they are? They're a captain of a well-run bed. And when I get on that bed, I feel like I'm taken care of.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about driving the ship.
Yeah.
There's a lot of metaphors
there. You can just drift off.
Drift off into the sea.
So right now, our listeners, the Shandies, can save a whopping 35% on Cozy Earth, but hurry, this offer ends soon.
Go to cozyearth.com/Shandy and make sure to enter Shandy at checkout to save 35%.
That's Cozy Earth, COZYEARTH.com/Shandy. So Andy, I went to fetch my Prose hair products that have my name on them, and I realized that we don't have many more with your name on them. And Andy, when I said that, you were like, mine is on the way. So Prose personalized hair care delivered directly to your door.
First of all, the reason I don't have any is, of course, because I used it all. But the reason I use it so frequently and with such vigor is because it is tailored exactly to my needs.
Yes.
And I feel it. With other shampoos. Some shampoos I've used in the past, like some parts of it, like that's great.
Yeah.
That part is good.
Yes.
But then the other part isn't good.
Totally.
I feel like I'm going to the same barber I've been going to for like 30 years for a haircut in a shampoo form.
Yeah, he knows you.
Yeah.
He knows your preferences. He knows your hair. And when you do Prose's in-depth hair consultation, it is in-depth.
Yeah.
They take into account your region, like the city you're in, your zip code, and then based on that, the climate, the humidity, the water. We know from traveling, sometimes we'll live somewhere else where the water's way softer and we'll feel a difference in our hair and nails. Like New York City water is hard.
And you know, I got to tell you, some of these quizzes I've taken for certain things like this, they drag sometimes.
Yes.
I actually enjoy the Prose quiz. It makes me feel like I'm at the doctor. You know, when you're at the doctor, they're doing kind of an intake. They're like asking all these questions about you and you're kind of into it. You're like, oh, no one ever asked me these questions. I love talking about myself.
No, it's so true. I had that same feeling when I did their in-depth hair consultation.
And just in case you're worried that you might be alone in Prose, over 1 million people have taken their online quiz.
That's a lot of consultations.
It's a lot of consulting.
And they take 85, a whopping 85 factors into account when then deciding what hair care to recommend for you to get you closer to your hair goals.
And Prose lacks no confidence because if you are not 100 and 100% satisfied, they'll take the products back, no questions asked.
Wow. So custom made to order hair care from Prose has your name all over it, literally.
Take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today.
Go to prose.com/Shandy. That's prose.com/Shandy to take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off. Okay, so question number 4, Emily. What was your first ever job, meaning the first thing you got paid to do?
I was Pilates/ballet classes.
Pilates/ballet classes. Okay. So you were always teaching fitness your whole life.
That's a very badass first job.
I know, seriously. Most people
I was serving ice cream to people.
Oh, that was cool though. He served ice cream to some famous people.
Thanks for patronizing me.
There might be a loophole here. I don't know what the age is. You might be wrong on that.
Okay.
You know, I got to be honest. My first thought was that she might be wrong as well.
Wait.
Yeah. It's like,
how old were you?
I feel like that's your first W-2 official, like, you know, you got an employment contract.
Yeah, not under the
I think you
table.
may have went a little too far.
I was 21.
Oh.
All right. So
let's see.
were you a
Okay, hold on. We may have to review this. Let's
Okay,
see
Bennett,
this.
your
Okay.
answer
I
is.
said she was a waitress in college.
Is this true?
I was.
Oh.
Wait. What month was I hired for that Pilates job versus the waitressing job?
It's down to the wire.
Yeah, seriously.
But you know what's unfortunate is no matter what, he's screwed.
You're
Why?
right.
Oh, he's right.
He's right.
He's right.
My waitressing job a few months before I started the Pilates job.
Wow. This is unprecedented.
But so we give
This is unprecedented.
Good job.
Wait, so she wrote down the wrong thing. She's admitting he's right. He already had that. He was already on the wait list for
Yeah.
the half point. He's getting this point.
you're getting him a half point?
No,
he's got the
he's
full
getting
point.
a full point.
He's getting a
now.
full. Absolutely.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is where the half point came in.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no question.
Yeah.
And also, you now know Emily better than Emily knows Emily,
Yeah.
which tactically in the relationship gives you points that don't even count
Yeah,
in this
yes,
game.
totally. So, Bennett, what was your first ever job, meaning the first thing you got paid to do?
I was a camp counselor.
Excellent.
Oh, that's wholesome.
That's so cute.
That
Yeah.
is
Super
cute.
Yeah.
Camp
I had
counselor.
no idea.
She said bank job.
She wrote.
LA.
Valet or bank? Yeah,
I
those
love-
are two very different jobs.
I love that bank.
So I
question mark,
actually
ballet
did
question.
then, the same summer in LA as a summer internship. I was working at Merrill Lynch downtown and then would be a valet,
So technically bank valet, both. Is that what you meant?
yeah, I did them the same summer during
Wow.
college. Well,
I got to say that may be a half point for Emily at some point down the line.
no. I was a camp counselor in
No,
high school.
Yeah, he,
got
He
it.
was a
Okay,
camp
okay,
counselor
okay. Sorry,
first.
I'm trying my best.
So that was Emily's first miss. She's doing so well on
Yeah.
this. All right, so you guys are at 3-2 for Emily right now. And question number 5.
And so now, technically, Bennett, you have a 50-50 chance of tying it up, which would be a very impressive comeback,
No kidding.
considering the momentum Emily was showing. Anyway, let's get on with it.
All right, so Emily, it is your last meal on earth. What do you order?
I put chicken tenders, cookies, and grapes.
Chicken tenders? It's your
Cookies?
last meal on earth. You get chicken tenders?
Love
And you're
chicken-
listening to Philip Glass?
Yeah, what the hell is going on there? Let me ask you this. Could you listen to Philip Glass in good conscience while eating chicken tenders?
Yeah, of course. you know what?
It's like perfect night.
It's nostalgia. And you know what Philip Glass also is? Nostalgia, because I grew up as a ballerina. So I grew up listening to classical music my entire childhood.
I see. So it's all, you're a real nostalgia person.
Yes.
So these are all, you like books too, but you probably read books when you were a kid and didn't have phone and stuff. Okay. I respect nostalgia a lot.
Oh, we love nostalgia here. Yeah. Okay. So, Bennett, did you get that?
0.5, kind of. But I put spinach, eggs or chicken fingers, and chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, that's, I gotta give it to him.
It's like 2/3.
Eggs or chicken fingers?
The eggs part, I don't know why you threw that in there. Why don't you just have
She
the
loves
confidence
eggs.
of going with chicken tenders?
Yeah, she
Eggs?
loves eggs.
Eggs don't, the problem that we're gonna have to talk to the commission on this one.
Yeah.
Because
Close.
eggs don't have anything to do with chicken tenders.
No. He gave 4
Well,
things.
they kind of do, Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like,
let's hear it. Let's hear what you got.
what do they have to do with each
they're
other?
actually-
Oh, so you're saying the eggs make the chickens, which make the tenders. I got you.
Oh my
Which one comes
goodness.
first?
Right. So it's a metaphysical question here.
Are we going to give it to him?
Oof, I kind of want to give it to him. It's a friendly environment here at Dear
Yeah.
Shandy.
Okay,
And I
well,
think it's close enough.
We're
that
giving you the point, but
I'm gonna have to give it to him.
yeah, it's
It's
the-
getting a class in classical, so maybe this is justified,
But you already got the half point for
yeah,
classical.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't
This
think
is-
we counted that.
No, we kind of pushed you over. Although to be honest, he should have gotten the point regardless of the classical. So maybe the half point's coming into play now.
Okay, we're being nice. You're getting the point. You're getting the point.
This is with a heavy heart we're giving
Okay.
this, but you really fought for it.
Eggs or chicken
competitive.
tenders? The eggs and chicken tenders is throwing us off. The fact that he put spinach, just spinach. Emily, it's just spinach?
Yes, spinach.
I'll go through like a bag of spinach at a time.
A day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
okay.
She kills spinach. Yep.
Why'd the chicken cross the road? To get away from the guy who eats eggs and chicken tenders.
Okay, good. All right. So Bennett, it's your last meal on earth. What do you order?
I said fried chicken, steak, and donuts.
I mean, that's a respectable last meal.
Yeah, fried chicken, steak, donuts. Emily, did you get that?
No, I got steak, Brussels, and cookies.
Oh, she got 1 out of 3.
It's always cookies. He loves cookies.
Yeah, loves cookies.
Cookies every day.
I mean, Charlene is a big lover of cookies.
I think cookies are superior to donuts. I'm just going to say
Yeah, but they're dry, though. That's the problem.
No, you assume all cookies are dry. Not all cookies are
but you
dry.
love dry cookies.
I like all cookies, whether they're dry or moist.
Do you not love dry cookies?
I love dry cookies. I like all cookies.
Okay.
What's your favorite cookie in New York?
I mean, for me, it's Insomnia.
Insomnia is really good. I think Levant is really good, but it's overrated. Yeah, it's too much cookie.
I don't want a meal.
Cakey.
I just want a cookie.
There's a place.
It's very moist, but it's too much. It's just like it's like a cake. I love the energy level when we started talking about cookies. Just like, I have some things to say.
We're all on pins and needles. Yeah. Wait,
we're done.
Oh, we're done.
It's
so
3-3.
She didn't get it. It's 3-3. They're tied.
3-3.
You were right about the tie.
I was close to the tie, and I really was pulling for a Bennett comeback, and that's what happened. So now it's a brand new ball game. You have one question.
No. They have to first decide.
I'm deciding.
No. Shh. Do you want to break this tie and go off into your day loving each other equally? Or not break this tie and go off into the day loving each other equally? Or do you want there to be a winner today?
Need some wins. I like.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Okay, I wasn't really sure what they were going to say to that. All right, one question we have to talk about this. Okay, it's time for the tiebreaker.
All right.
I wasn't sure if they were going to want to go into tiebreaker.
The yogi way would be to end in a tie.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more like, no, like this is good. We just love each other equally. But
I think Emily may have wanted to say it. Emily, you probably wanted to tie,
definitely.
Right?
She wanted to end in the tie for sure.
Oh, and then Bennett was like, no,
football.
we need a win. All right, well, we'll see if that bites him in the ass.
All right.
Okay.
We'll
So, Emily, we're going to ask you first. Bennett, this is your point. Emily, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I said dancer.
Yes. I feel like I would have put my money on that. Oh, he got it. Ballerina.
Very nice.
Good. Very good.
Were you faking lack of confidence there, Bennett?
No. I knew that was an easy one.
Oh, wow. Okay. I can't tell. You got a good poker face.
Bennett, you're hard to read.
Yeah.
More so than I was expecting.
Yeah. It's got a game face. Real hard game face.
Yeah. Okay. Bennett, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Michael Jordan, NBA player.
or you wanted to be Michael Jordan or an NBA player?
Yeah. Either one would have worked.
Okay.
Like old Michael Jordan in the casino, like smoking cigars, getting fat, or anything.
Okay, Emily, did you get that? She got basketball player. Wow.
Double overtime. Wow.
Look at this. 4-4.
See, now they love each other again.
Okay. Okay. So
No. Now we're good.
So Bennett, you want to keep going, but Emily wants to stop, right?
We're good.
You sure? One more?
This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's like $200,000 is plenty. Let's just go home so we don't have a fight.
Okay. So stop.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, he wants it.
It's so funny when they disagree. You guys are so
We've
cute.
never ended in a tie. This is a first.
Yeah.
Emily doesn't like, competitive sports, right? It's like.
No, I'm the same as you. I am not competitive at all. I just let's play the game for the fun of the game.
I think this is I respect. Usually, I push for the finality of it, but I'm okay with this time.
Yeah,
right.
It feels right with the two of you. Yes, it does.
Oh, thank you guys.
Bennett and Emily, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
We've had such a great time getting to know you.
You too. This was so fun. It was a good. We really loved it. Wish we had done it sooner. Thank you guys.
How sweet of you to say.
Yeah.
And well, you're going to go off into your day loving each other equally.
Exactly.
Yeah, the exact right amount. Thank you so much, and we'll be in touch.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. The Newlyweds Game always is good for a laugh.
What's going on over there?
What? Oh, I was giving my head a good rub. You caught me. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you were kind of distracted by how good that felt. He's like, oh, the Newlyweds Game is always good time.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure if they were going to go into overtime.
Yeah, I didn't know because Emily certainly, it seems like she's the type of person who would be very happy with a tie.
Yeah.
That's the perfect yin and yang. It's a perfect balance.
You know what? They summed up with that slight lack of, I don't know, seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
The way they complement each other, I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He wants to just, and she's like, no.
It's okay.
Just take it down.
Yes.
We're fine.
Yeah.
It's
Let
okay.
it be.
Let it be. Let it be a little messy.
Yes. A tie. You know, I actually, if we tied, I also think I would want to just end with a tie.
Mm.
You know? You wouldn't want to?
You know, I like closure.
Oh, but this is different. This isn't
You're
about,
right. You're
this
right.
isn't about a prize. It's just about how well we know each
You know
other.
why I would want to end in a tie? Because I have a feeling you might know me a tiny bit better than I know you, and I would feel like I got away with it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, you know some deep
And that's
stuff.
the thing. If I feel like if you got the last point and you won, you would be all gloaty, but deep down, I think I do know you slightly better than you know me,
Yeah.
which is, you know, I just no
Right.
offense.
No, it's none taken.
And I would feel like that was an injustice with the world.
I completely agree with everything that we have just said.
They were cute.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I went into that Love Fest thinking they were going to be way more New York than they are.
Yeah, they're more LA than New York.
Way more. Like I went into this being like, oh yeah, they met in New York. You know, she taught yoga here, and he was, you know, a finance guy here. Like they're New York, but they're just in LA for a while.
Right.
But then talking to them, I'm like, no, they're LA.
They're LA, and in the most, there's nothing derogatory about that.
No,
Like,
they're just clearly LA.
Yeah, it's much more like outdoors, like chill, not like
Way more
type
chill.
A. Although he's got a little more New York in him than her.
Yeah. He's fighting it.
Yeah, he's fighting it. It's like he's like, can we come out now? He's like, no, stay down.
He was also super poker faced during the game.
But I tell you, it was a hard fought tie. Both sides really. It was a fight.
Yeah, his competitive nature came out.
Yeah. It's impressive. I honestly, like when that game started, I thought we might have a 0-0 going.
They got into it and they did well.
It ended up at 4-4.
Yeah, they did very well.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, eggs and chicken fingers, I'm still.
Look, there are always going to be newlywed answers that we're never quite sure about.
My favorite
That
was
is pretty odd.
him saying that they're kind of the same.
Yeah, that's. I mean, at first, I thought that was absurd. And when I thought more about it, he's kind of right.
Yeah, I mean, they're more the same than spinach or cookies.
Definitely.
Yes.
We
way
can
more the
agree.
same.
What we've learned from this Love Fest is that eggs and chicken tenders are more similar than cookies and spinach.
I really liked them. She has such a calming presence.
Yeah.
And I swear, like, even if I didn't know, I mean, obviously it's hard to forget that both her parents are therapists, but just some of her answers, like there's such a, I don't know, a letting things happen, like she's like water, you know what I mean? She's bending around what happens to her and not trying to grip her way through life.
It feels real coming from her, like she practices what she preaches.
Yeah.
There are some, I'm sure there's some famous yoga instructors or even not famous yoga instructors.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of not famous yoga instructors, but a lot of them I feel like it's sort of forced.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like it's like, you gotta do this and you gotta be like this.
No, it sometimes feels like an affect.
She's just living, she is the thing.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm not butter. I don't butter.
No,
I don't do it.
He's not
I don't butter.
buttering. No.
It's not butter. It's margarine.
I can't believe. Do
people eat margarine anymore, or is that like gone? That
I
doesn't
don't know.
exist
I feel like
anymore.
margarine, when people realized that it's actually, it's better to just have
Eat
butter. Yeah.
Is margarine a brand name, or is that
it's a type of product. Yeah.
Are you sure margarine's not a
Yeah,
brand
there's
name?
Basil.
Oh, so margarine is like a group of product. It's the type of thing.
Yeah, it's like butter.
So it's not a brand.
Like you're going to go buy, you're going to go and buy Lactantia. What's that butter brand?
I have no idea what you're talking about. But let's get back to margarine. So there's no margarine company.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like eggs, butter. These are, you buy the brand name of the thing.
I'm going to look into margarine after this.
You know that I can't believe it's not butter. The spokesperson
died. Oh, what happened?
It's Fabio.
Is it really?
It was for a really long time.
Fabio.
I was about to say he was the first celebrity I ever met.
Fabio.
Yes. Random, right?
And did you meet him because you wanted to, or it just happened randomly?
Oh, I was in LA with my family on like a Hollywood tour. Oh. And they took us to this bar by day where Fabio always hung out. And they're like, Fabio might be here. And I had a Hello Kitty pad. I was really young. And I went up to him and asked him for his autograph. And he signed my Hello Kitty pad.
Was?
I didn't. I was just told that he was famous.
Oh, so you had no idea who Fabio was. He's a famous person.
I was told he was famous and I was really young. And so I was like, oh, I'm meeting a famous person. I want to get his autograph on my Hello Kitty pad.
And when you saw him, did you not say like, maybe that's not the famous person I should be getting my first autograph from?
No, I was just
were like,
excited.
Whatever, he's famous. I don't care if he looks like, he's
which is funny because now that I'm older, I'm kind of, I don't really care about fame. But when I was little,
of course.
When everyone's like, oh, Fabio, like everyone was talking.
Superhero.
Yeah, it's like he was famous. And so therefore I wanted to have something to remember the moment.
That's so cute. And that eventually got thrown out, I'm assuming.
I have no idea where it is.
It would be great if you still had that. I'm very sad
I did.
you don't.
Yeah. There was a question I meant to ask them actually about working together. Because there is.
But they don't work together.
They don't really, but they kind of, create some content.
Oh, they do?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it's their main thing, but they both have platforms and occasionally they'll do things together. I guess it's not really the same.
Huh. I didn't know that they did that.
Oh, well, it's actually a lot of it is them doing yoga together and he's really quite good. She's amazing, let me tell you. She has this recent reel where she's just at the kitchen counter like this and then she just lifts up and up onto her arms onto the kitchen counter.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
She's just like...
That's like a move out of like The Ring. That's good content.
Yeah, that is great content.
Yeah, open wide. Here's some content.
Daddy made you your favorite open wide.
Here comes
Daddy
some made you your favorite. Yeah, open wide. Here is some content.
Yeah. That's my hall pass right there. It's always fun having a couple on that is so yin yang. Like they're it's obvious.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't tell. With them, I feel like it's so obvious the ways in which they're yin yang.
Fit. It's just wait.
It was even funny watching him answer. He was very well spoken, and he would answer very in a very constructive and well formulated, proper sentence structure kind of way. And then she would be like,
it's like,
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, I got to be honest. Like in the corporate world, whatever he's doing is good.
Oh, you feel like he's good at it?
Oh, yeah. Whatever he does, he's good at it.
Well, that's the vibe I got actually from the Newlyweds Game is, we took it as sort of sternness, but I think that they are both, she touched on a couple times them being particular. And I get kind of perfectionist,
definitely both.
I want to do everything to the best of my abilities kind of way.
She's perfectionist in her pursuit of non-perfection.
Oh.
And he's perfectionist in his pursuit of perfection.
Oh, interesting.
That's the way I saw it.
Yeah. I mean, and they're both very respectable. Yeah. Hers might be slightly more respectable in this day and age.
Yeah, now. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, no screens.
I mean, whatever she's up to, I don't know what happened as a child, but she's figured it out.
Yeah, I feel like I need to let some of that rub off on me.
I mean, it's too late for us.
I can't get over the fact that he was like, I knew instantly that she was the one, and he pursued her with all these emails, and then he didn't have the DTR conversation.
Yeah, but I don't find that as weird as you. Because
I think if you're dating today, you got to do it.
You know what I think? I think first of all, it's a generational thing. I think that guy's more in my generation than yours.
That guy.
Yeah, this guy over here. Sorry, Bennett.
Yeah.
I meant that guy, like, endearingly.
Yeah.
That guy.
No,
that guy.
Okay.
But I think that I felt like the way I behaved in relationships prior to you, it was like, obviously, like I assumed you knew, like you had a movie of all my past relationships. And you're like, oh, of course we're in a relationship, a serious relationship, because look at the way you acted before. Like, I didn't know you didn't have that prior knowledge.
Yeah.
So I was like, of course, like what else am I supposed to do? I'm like completely with it.
Yeah, but just for the woman's perspective, you want the guy to not make you have that conversation, and you don't want to assume anything because, like I said, everyone's on the apps, everyone's dating multiple people, or at least most people are, and it kind of sucks as the woman to be forced to be like, so are we exclusive?
No, I agree. I agree with both of them.
Yeah.
I agree that he has the right to be like, I showed you. Like, what else do you need? Why do we have to have a conversation? It feels antiquated.
To be fair, I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah, and she's right to be like feeling like, where am I? I don't know what's going on, but I'm used to this happening.
Yes.
So everyone's right.
Yeah.
Everybody right.
Another thing I liked was how he mentioned when you're dating in a city like New York, it's like your senses are all heightened, like to the point where when you see the person you want, like that's,
Yes.
I don't think that's the case for everyone, but I think it's the case for a lot of people.
It's the case for me.
Yeah, it was the case for you. Okay, well, I think we can wrap there.
Yes.
If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram and
TikTok,
leave us Apple and
Spotify
podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends.
Tell them.
And generally do all the things that you would do to support a podcast you enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.